Hi Leo, how's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. It looks like you may be figuring out which road you want to go down when it comes to possibly even investing in something. For some of you, you could be thinking about moving. Ooh, it looks like a lot of things related to like resources and money can be job related even. Like what type of job do you want to be investing in? Property. Where do you want to be investing your resources, your time, your energy? Maybe you're at the point where you're finally walking away from something that you knew you needed to move away from for yourself, for your benefit. It looks like finally you have transitioned, or you are in the midst of transitioning out of a situation, whether this be you moving out of a physical space, you moving out of a particular environment, physically, mentally. But I'm seeing this be something successful. It was a bit of an obstacle before, but now I'm seeing like something that you have done, or it's something that you're in the transition of and you know you are going to be completing here. Also, too, for some of you, it may not have been your first choice to move away from a situation, but this could have been a moment where you came to terms with something and you were like, you know what, if I really ask myself, am I getting what I need from this situation? When I check in, I'm recognizing that I'm not, and so I have to do this for myself. But yeah, this is something that could have taken a little bit of an emotional toll on you with Cancer here. Looks like you completed a lesson. This could have even been you connecting with somebody. Maybe feeling like there was a lesson to complete with this person, karmically speaking. Yeah, there could have been something that was on the table before. This can be meeting up with somebody, hanging out with somebody, refamiliarizing yourself with somebody, reconnecting, reconciling. Somebody that at least at one point in time you felt very close with this person. But I'm seeing something like weighing heavily on you. Yeah, as I said before about it, like possibly not being your first choice to have to move away from a situation. Could have been something where it's like you got your hopes up and you felt let down by something that had happened, but it was something that once you got to a space where you were like, you know what, I've processed this and I've come to terms with it and now I'm ready to actually move out of this situation. I'm seeing that, like, you processing everything and being like, okay, I'm going to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep moving forward. That was the challenge here for you. I am seeing a close interpersonal relationship. Very, very close. Can be a close family tie, romantic relationship, friendship, some type of bond. But I'm seeing, like, everything ends up changing with the Death card. It's like whatever dynamic was happening before is not happening any longer. Something big is changing here. This can be a moment too where in your head you could have been like, okay, I see this person in this way, and it's like maybe you've known them for a long time, and it's like now you get into contact with them again recently for some of you, and it's like you see different things within this person, and maybe it was different than you thought that it was. Because before, in the setting that you were with them, it could have been like a lot of fun and not so much like pressure, and something could have definitely changed within the situation. Like maybe the setting that you were in with this person has changed, and so that's also changed like your perspective of like this person in the dynamic. That's not to say you don't still find them attractive with the Queen of Wands. But yeah, it's like something changed in a way that maybe you hadn't wanted it to be like that. It's something specifically about your relationship with this person. But Leo, I'm seeing you come out in a spot where you're looking pretty strong here. And maybe when you were with this person before, you didn't feel particularly empowered, and now you do. And that could have also changed your perspective. It's like maybe you wanted a different type of thing from this person. Because I'm seeing even something, it's like you recognize something and maybe had a hard time allowing that to sink in. This could have even been something where it's like you kept getting into disagreements with this person, or you couldn't really see eye to eye with them. If this is something just internally that was happening, it was like a sense of internal conflict that you were feeling because you were let down based off of the expectations that you had of this situation. Not feeling fulfilled, not feeling like you're getting what you need, feeling sad about that, and then needing to come to terms with that. Overcoming obstacles when it comes to a close interpersonal dynamic that you have. If you've still been keeping remember, energies can be reversed. If you've still been keeping tabs on this person, you are going to feel more and more conflicted. It's something that you're not meant to be keeping tabs on, because I'm seeing something that's already been done. This can even be something where you're like going back and like even scrolling through conversations that you had with somebody, or like thinking about all the fights that you got into with them in the past. But maybe this was something that you needed to let go of. Like this is somebody that maybe you kept around because you were curious about what was going on within their life, and then you recognized that, ooh, for some of you, you may not have been aware that this person had somebody else that they were entertaining. I'm seeing something come to an end very, very quickly. With the Three of Cups, with the Page of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Death card, and you over here. So yeah, you could have thought that like maybe there was a chance for something to happen, but then it's like you see something and maybe you feel a little bit sick to your stomach about something that you saw. I'm looking at Cancer, Gemini, and Scorpio. Yeah, I get the notion of you seeing something or observing something and like feeling like your stomach is in knots over something that you see. So it's almost even a situation where matters were made worse for some reason. But this seems like something that needed to be let go of. And maybe this was the thing that you needed to see to like finally release something that needed to be released for you. It's like maybe you kept checking up. It looks like something that had already ended before. So I'm not seeing it be like, okay, you're in your present relationship with somebody and you're getting like all this crazy news now. This is something that had already ended and there was already a separation and walking away from it, but it was something that you may not have like completely digested yet. And so you were still keeping tabs on this person. So it's like, even though you went your separate ways or what have you, you're still like keeping track of what it is that they'd been doing. As I said before, remember, energies can be reversed. If you have not been keeping track of this person, then this is the reverse for you, if the story is fitting. And so I'm seeing somebody that had, I'm seeing you be separated from somebody, and it's like you still have been keeping tabs on this person, and then you see something and you're like, okay, that's it. Like, I really need to cut this off and not see it anymore. And it does look like it was an involvement with another person or a third party, which doesn't have to be another person. But whatever it is, I'm getting you be really turned off about this thing that you see. And it seems like that was a big enough push for you to kind of get into a space where you're like, you know what, I need to go through a change, I need to go through a transition right now, and I need to like really remember who I am in this situation. Because I'm seeing even like a mopey energy here with like all of the cups and the sadness and the like turning away and all of that, and like the water energy here with Cancer. So this is something that you may have really been sitting in this for a bit and like maybe feeling a little bit sorry about this situation and all of that. But it was just something that needed to be processed through. Like, need to give yourself time to really digest everything. And then I'm seeing you like see this one thing and you may feel very triggered by this thing that you see, and you're like, now I don't feel the need to continue keeping tabs on this person anymore. I feel like I have given myself an opportunity now to go through the change that I know I have been being guided into, but before I couldn't let go of keeping track of this person. So now I'm actually going to embrace the change. I'm going to open my arms to it, and I'm going to like reinvent myself in some way. So I'm seeing that happening here. And then I'm seeing the Two of Cups and the Queen of Wands. And this can be you uniting your masculine and your feminine energy. This can also be you connecting with somebody that you feel like is very suitable for you, too. So yeah, it seems like something even pushed you enough to like actually move on from a situation. And I'm seeing the opportunity that you have to be in a relationship or something of the sort. But with the Ten of Wands, maybe you don't feel ready for it. But I'm seeing you like, before you may have felt like you were more in a water energy, like more in the chaos of like your emotions and everything you were feeling, trying to figure out ways to like cope and all of that stuff. And now I'm seeing you kind of get your fire back. It's like you get your feet back under you. If something is not in alignment, it's going to bring more stress into your life. Like, if before you're about to make a decision, you're like feeling really sweaty about something, it may not be a great idea for you to get involved in it. Definitely something to think about. Your reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, I'm seeing the opportunity for a new relationship. See, opportunity, new relationship, new relationship, starting something new, a new type of dynamic. It looks like this is an option. Maybe even something that you're manifesting, if this has not come to fruition yet. I'm seeing you sit at a table and something is presented to you on the table and you're like, do I want to eat this or not? And then I'm seeing it all be swept completely off the table. It's like something is not even an option anymore with the Ten of Swords. But it looks like this was something that you had been considering. Something that was being offered to you. But maybe you chose another route. Because of something... There's a fear here that I'm seeing. Maybe this is about giving. It's like not wanting to... You could have had an experience where you felt like you were very giving with the things that you had to give within a relationship. And you may have an opportunity, may have had an opportunity to get involved with something where like things could have potentially been balanced between you and a person, but there's something about getting caught up in your head about like the fairness of a situation or if it was actually balanced. And like maybe this was something that because of the anxiety that you felt, you could have like taken an opportunity that would have actually worked out and you could have potentially been compatible with it, but because of anxiety and like not communicating fears and what needed to be spoken about when it came to like expectations and standards, it's something that you could have stopped yourself from doing actually and seizing. This does look like a relationship to me, but it looks like something that like you were feeling so anxious about this or so trapped that you didn't communicate something that could have been easily resolved through communication. And so something may not have gotten off the ground that was an opportunity for you. Because you see here, it's like this person feels like they can't move, they feel like they can't take action, and I'm seeing it be related to communication. A dialogue that would happen. And I'm seeing this affect a relationship. Didn't want things to get out of balance. Maybe that's why. You could have struggled because based off of a past experience that you had, you may have connected with somebody and thought that things would be balanced and even with them, and then it did not end up being that way. And so, like, you may have gotten away from that situation and been introduced to a new situation, and rather than going for it, you could have, like, allowed those things to kind of mess with you. And rather than seeing this as a new experience where you don't have to allow history to repeat itself, you may have avoided something altogether, actually. I'm seeing there be some sort of issue with something being out of balance or codependent in some way, or something unhealthy. Yeah, it's even like, it's a fear of addressing something that maybe, it may be an element of you that at times, when we do shadow work, it's not about bypassing the shadow. It's about shaking hands with the shadow. So it's about like getting comfortable with the subconscious parts of you and the parts of you that you don't understand and trying to understand it. And rather than like running away from all of your feelings and all of the like strange compulsive thoughts that you have and all of that, it's about like normalizing that experience more than anything and working with it rather than like avoiding it or bypassing. And there could have been a situation where like something within you could have felt like it was brought up, and rather than addressing it, you could have gotten like a little bit spooked by something. And this is something that you may have thought it was the other person and they were actually reflecting something internally, so it could have been projected onto this person. We're gonna get further and see. But I'm seeing like even something that looks like a fear even of commitment. Like, I'm even seeing something that it's like to anybody else looking around, they would see like you on the street and another person like handing you an ice cream. So like nobody sees anything wrong with this situation, but for some reason it's like you are terrified of the ice cream. So it's like nobody else really understands like where this is coming from. But I'm seeing you like have a very deep emotional experience or like even aversion towards something, but it's something that like nobody else is understanding. This feels like something that needs to be worked through, because I don't think that it would be as intense if it is being worked through. Because it's almost like something small, a small stimulus triggers a very, very big response. But it can be related to your past history. But like onlookers may not be realizing that. And that doesn't mean, too, that this was necessarily like an outward response. This is something that could have felt like crippling psychologically that you were dealing with, that like maybe other people weren't aware of. Something about the fear response. I keep getting this. Because I'm even seeing like somebody trying to like be nice to you in some way, and you just like that being triggering for some reason. Maybe this also has to do with like self-worth and stuff like that. Or maybe like not trusting. Okay. I do keep seeing the sun, so it looks like whatever this is, you're going to be transitioning out of this and feeling better. So yeah, I'm seeing an opportunity being handed to you. Something that looks very balanced. Somebody that's like, okay, here I am, I'm showing up for you. And like rather than you having some response to this that would be like a normal response, like something that would be expected, I'm seeing you go in like the very opposite direction. This feels very avoidant to me. But there's like stuff going down deep behind this, like back behind. So yeah, maybe even feeling triggered that somebody was showing up for you. And I do keep getting the sense like with the Ace of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, it looks like somebody was trying to like show you kindness in some way, but I'm seeing like something triggering like even past memories for you that you don't feel good about, but it's something that like you had not processed through actually. So it's like rather than seeing somebody as like making a kind gesture, that could have triggered some sort of activated some sort of fear response from you. And maybe it was something that like you didn't want to get involved in because you felt fearful of it and like the direction that it would go in. Because I'm seeing there even be a desire for you to start something, but then it's like the devil shows up. So it's like some direction that you wanted to go down or that you had the opportunity to go down, it becomes intruded upon. So it's no longer pure. So there's some issue that evolves. even because of like seeds that had been planted. It's like something that ends up ruining the whole crop. And I'm seeing something come to an end. And then I'm also seeing justice in the Page of Pentacles. This is so interesting. Justice would be like a situation balancing out. Like something needed to come to an end, it seems, because for some reason it was tainted in some way. I'm even getting like something that you can't eat, inedible for some reason, and that can definitely be a metaphor. In this spread, I'm looking at Saturn, Capricorn, Libra. A lot of Saturn, Capricorn energy here. I will say this too, for some of you, you could have had an opportunity, like somebody coming through making an offer to you, whether this be a person wanting to be in your life or a job offer. And like rather than being able to seize that, you could have had something else that you were committed to that you like had not gotten out of the space of yet. And so it would not have allowed you to start something with a clean slate. And that's why it had to come to an end. That was justice for the situation. This makes a lot more sense here. So it's like it's even like something like good and pure was karmically was trying to enter your life, even to like encourage you to get out of another situation. But because of you being in some sort of commitment, again, whether this be like a job or a relationship or something that you had like signed on for, rather than you like ending the contract, there was a sense of you staying stagnant within that and being like, oh, I can't leave for whatever reasons it was. And I'm seeing it's like you're the one that kept yourself there. If you wanted to leave, you could have. It was a matter of will here. Because I'm seeing like something where you did not exercise like your will to get out of this situation. It was something that you stayed stuck in. That's not to say you didn't have valid reasons, but I'm saying like this is something that you had the option, the opportunity of getting out of this situation. You didn't have to stay stuck in it. But with the Eight of Swords, this is self-imposed here. That's what this card represents. So this is the lesson that I'm seeing comes to fruition about how you aren't able to seize opportunities when you stay stuck in situations that are no longer resonating with you and you don't move out of them. Because I'm seeing like if you wanted to seize this, because what comes after this, we have the Page. So it's like rather than seizing that opportunity where things would have been balanced and there would have been a sense of reciprocity, if you seize that while you were in this commitment that you had not ended yet, this opportunity would have been tainted because you had not ended a cycle that needed to come to an end, that was supposed to, that was meant to come to an end. But I mean, also everything is meant to be what it is, right? But it's like something that you had the opportunity to reroute. I'm hearing the fate lines. So where you could have rerouted something, you ended up like staying straight on the lane instead of veering off. And so something would have like been unbalanced from the start, from the jump. Because it did not start off the right way. Let's like use a very simple example. Say you're in a marriage with somebody and then you feel very unhappy within the marriage, but you're like, we're staying together because it's a commitment, or like you don't want to get divorced or whatever. It's like you stay stuck in that situation and feel extremely like unhappy, and it's something that you feel trapped in and you want to get out of. But because you didn't make that move, it's like somebody comes along and offers you an opportunity, And it's something that like it would resonate with you, and it would be balanced in the way that you want it to, and it does meet all of your standards. And because this relationship was not ended, if you tried to start this without properly ending this other thing, it would have been tainted from the beginning, karmically speaking, at least. So it would not have manifested in the way that you hoped for it to. There would have been some issue with it, because at its core, it was built off of something impure. So that's why I'm seeing, like, it had to all come to an end, because that was justice, like, karmic justice for the situation. So something could not go on. And for some of you, like, you could have been, like, a third party coming into a situation, and this could have been, like, what your person was dealing with, depending on, like, who you are within the narrative. Because again, I'm seeing it be reinforced that like somebody was coming in trying to make an offer to you. Trying to like pull you into an opportunity. Like whether this be a life partner or a career opportunity or whatever it is for you. And it was like something that would have definitely matched with you, but something that you weren't able to engage further in. Even if you tried to, it would not have worked out. And again, that's why the ending happened. So all that can be done now is sitting in a place where you're processing everything emotionally and coming to terms with this ending and recognizing that it was justice for the situation, because things were not ended on the proper timelines that they were supposed to be. So they like intersected and like got everything all mixed up. This is definitely like a big karmic unfolding for sure. But I'm seeing this be very beneficial to you, because I'm seeing it be one of those experiences where like maybe this wasn't the most pleasant experience to go through, but it was something that has the potential to teach you a very grand life lesson. For some of you too, you even could have stayed in a situation, again, whether this be a job or like a marriage or a relationship, and you didn't take an opportunity to get out of it because you were worried about how you were going to like pay for something or finance it. It's like being very worried about the King of Pentacles over here. Or even having a codependent relationship with someone where you were like, yeah, I'm not happy within the dynamic. This isn't working out for me, but I'm going to stay because who's going to take care of you? And it's like, it's not your job to be taking care of. I'm hearing a grown adult for some of you that this was related to a relationship. Seeing so much earth energy. Again, I'm looking at a lot of Saturn here with Capricorn. I'm looking at Libra and also Taurus. As I said before, even though this may not have been the most pleasant thing to experience, it's something that, like, you have the potential to gain so much wisdom from this experience as a whole. It does feel like a harsh lesson with Saturn, because Saturn does not play around. It's like Saturn is the very strict parent. Saturn is called the Lord of Karma. So it's very much like these tough lessons that, like, nobody's really there to rub your back. You kind of just get slapped in the back of the head instead. And this feels like very retrograde themed with Libra here. This looks like it was even part of a soul contract for you with the Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.